This is Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior. You're fanging and banging and watching the Nation's Network. That's right. Want some? Get some? Bad enough? Take some. Again, you're fanging and banging and you're watching the Nation Network.
All right, welcome everybody to the Nation Network for WCCW action here, part of the Project 64. And the music is not playing. Wonder what's going on with that. This was not a game that you had to worry about that stuff with so much. I was wondering why I wasn't playing the theme for WCCW there. Got the rest of the sound effects working, though. This is not like the WWF game where you have to load it separately or anything like that. Yes, indeed, Gangrel. Couldn't think of anybody better for the month of October. Retro, what's up, buddy? Citron's in the house as well. Welcome aboard. So Project 64, my friend, is basically a bunch of modders that have done different variations of No Mercy for the most part, although I do have one for WrestleMania 2000. And they take the entire game engine and then reskin it, create their own wrestlers, and turn No Mercy, which this is, into WCCW. They put their own graphics in, change the arenas around, championship titles, you name it, they do it. And there's a bunch of them out there. I've got about 4 or 5 at the moment, and that's probably close to what I'm going to top out at. If I find a good one for... What am I thinking? The now defunct Lucha Underground. If I find a good one, I've seen video that there's a good one, but I haven't been able to find it. And I did get one, but it was not good. And I don't think it's the same one. But I would probably be interested in going with a Lucha Underground if there was a good one that I could get a hold of. But other than that, the one thing I have not found and have never seen any video of that it exists is AWA, which I cannot believe that with all these other ones out there, there's several WWFs, there's some decent WCWs, and there's this WCCW, which is really good. Normally there's music. I'm not sure why it's not playing the music at the moment. After this match, we'll go to commercial break, and I'll try my luck and see if I can restart it and maybe the music will play. I liked Lucha the first 2 seasons. The third season, it kind of got a little too hokey for me. But I thought it was a really good program. I thought it was a slightly different twist on the pro wrestling. They had a good roster over those 3 years. They brought in some really good talent.
1, 2.
Got Miss Sunshine at ringside. What I like about all these games that these guys have put their time and efforts into is that they really go into the detail. Garvin ready for the finisher. We're going to see the Brainbuster. Uh-oh, this is not going to go well for Wild Bill. Oh, dropped him on his head. And there's the 69 for the win. 2 count only. I enjoyed Wrestling Society X. That only did 1 season, though, and I actually have the whole season on DVD. Now you're making me want to pull out the DVDs and watch that again. They had Teddy Hart in there. A whole bunch of names. Now I just can't think of which other ones were there. Teddy stood out to me. And what was that other one that Hogan and he only appeared 1 time on the whole show, but it had Roddy Piper, Mr. Perfect. I mean, all the WWF legends when they still had a little bit left in the tank. Greg Valentine, I believe, was part of it. Jimmy Hart, the Nasty Boys, they might have been the founders of it. And I got that DVD just set, too. I just can't remember what the hell the name of it is. Wild Bill Irwin. Oh, going to the dick. The tornado, or are we talking about? Kerry would have been gone by then. What tornado? No, I never saw that one. There's that Brainbuster again. For the love of God, can you ever pin him on the side? He pins him with his balls. XWF. Yes, I knew there was an X in it. I think the X stood for XWWF. It was okay. I mean, they were all guys that knew what the hell they were doing. They were a little bit past their prime, most of them. I think they even had Sable there for a hot minute. As we take a look at the replay. All right, we're going to go to commercial. I'm going to try and refire this thing up and see if the music will cooperate. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
It's time to grab your popcorn and your soda. Get your favorite candy. And get ready because we are going to the movies. We're going to be watching and reviewing some of the most iconic movies featuring superstars of the world of professional wrestling. Will it be thumbs up or thumbs down? We'll give you our thoughts, you give us yours. Come check us out as we review some of the greatest titles in its genre. Make sure you check out the Nation Network as we take you to the movies.
You know, there was actually something there about how to set up the music, and I missed it. All right, well, we're going to go with that music on this one. I'll figure it out for the next one. Jimmy Garvin picking up the big win in the singles competition in our opening match. Here from the Dallas Sportatorium. Going to do a tag team match. Everything there should be good. TKOs are off. Rope breaks are not there. DQs are good. 5 seconds on the tags. Non-title match is correct. Wish they had some jobbers on this one. Well, at this point in time, that's pretty close to it. All right, we'll see. Shawn Michaels. I can't do that to the Taker. See what we got going on here. That's all precious. Jeep Swenson. Against the Midnight Express. Here we go. At least without the music, I'm not going to get dinged with all kinds of warnings and blockages. All my friends in Pakistan can't watch the videos that I post because of the blocks. The folks in Russia, Pakistan, Bangladesh. It's all right. I do not have a lot of subs in these areas of the world. Loverboy Dennis. And Beautiful Bobby. How come they're not putting both names up there? What's up with that? That was rude. The original Midnight Express. The crowd's kind of hit and miss, too. Really needs the music. Might take a longer commercial break this time and redo it with the music. I didn't think you needed to do anything special for this one for some reason. Who was the high flyer? You're not going to tell me Jeep. I don't remember the guy, to be honest with you, but with a name like Jeep, how flying can he be? I believe that No Mercy was an Attitude Era. Yeah, because it had like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, DX, and all that stuff going on. If you're talking about the WWF from this, so far as the people that are revamping it, then yeah, that's from 86, I think he said. Although you could say 85. I would say 85 to 92. Jeff Hardy in 06. That's back when he hadn't found drugs yet. That's a collector's item. I used to keep all my ticket stubs for a long time, but then one day I just said, what the hell am I doing with these? And I threw them away. Now I wish I had them. Jeep with the power slam on Condrey. Makes the tag to this up-and-comer, Shawn Michaels. Human Tornado on... No idea who that is. Never heard of him. Rowdy Roddy. Would have loved to have met him. Wiley's in the house. All right, so we officially have JR and JW in the house. Otherwise, I'll say Jay and everybody's going to be looking to pass the salt at the same time. To make an 80s roster from the WWF without overfilling your roster. You only get 100 slots. And I guess it really depends on what 80s are you talking about. I mean, if you're looking at the 82 to 85 range, you know, like right into WrestleMania, you could probably even stretch it a little bit and go from 82 to 86, take you to WrestleMania 2. That wouldn't be a bad place to go. I would add 2 or 3 jobbers, and everything else would be mid and upper card. Chuck, I sold all of my AWA figures to one guy a couple of years ago. He's a toy collector. He buys and sells. And there was a big toy convention where I work, and I talked to him a little bit. He was dressed as the one-man gang. Looked pretty good, actually. Told him what I had, showed him some pictures, came over after the show to the house, took the whole shebang. And I made decent little money off of it, but there's a part of me that feels empty now. Not going to lie. But at the end of the day, I'm just getting to a different point in my life now where I look at things like that and it's like, it's plastic. Yeah, it has some memories attached to it, but it's plastic. What am I going to do with it? It's time to let somebody else have it, and someone will go to one of his shows that will understand the value of those things and take good care of them and appreciate them the way I did for a long time. The collection I have now of the Elites, which is in the living room. Good thing I have a girlfriend. I'd never get laid otherwise. That's it. I'm not buying any more. Every once in a while, I think about, oh, you know what? I don't have this guy. It's kind of my Hall of Fame. We've shown the video here in the past. Yeah, I mean, 84 to 85, you're not going to put 100 guys together. Not really, unless you really try hard. You'll have, I mean, you already got Hogan in the game, so you don't got to worry about Hogan. What I don't like to do is add attires, because that's ruining, it's taking up creation slots. Not to mention the images and stuff that go on the t-shirts or whatever it is. The good thing about that time frame, though, is the costumes are very basic. You know, you had like blue tights, white boots, maybe a couple of knee pads. I mean, it wasn't like nowadays you have these guys wearing these outfits that require 20 different designs imported just so you can make it look right. So you can get away with a lot more that way. Even I've been adding some of the legends here on my 2K23. But it doesn't, I think Orndorff is probably one of the ones with the most. And that's because of the robe. But other than that, if you took the robe away, all he's got is the Mr. Wonderful logo on his ass, and that's it. And the face scan. Got C-Play in the house. Welcome aboard. I don't watch a lot of backyard wrestling myself. I haven't seen a lot of it that's good, to be honest with you. And I just worry too much about untrained people doing crazy crap like that. I don't want to see somebody get paralyzed. If I wanted that, I'd watch AEW. I thought originally you were referring to the game. I've got, I think, Backyard Wrestling Volume 2, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I have the first one. Well, I think we all used to backyard wrestle when we were younger, but I guess me and my friends had a healthy understanding for the fact that we didn't really know what we were doing. So we weren't going to take back body drops and pile drivers and drop people on their heads. You know, we just kind of did the foot stomping and punching kind of thing, and there were no suplexes. We didn't have ropes to dive off. We might dive off of a picnic table and do like a snooker splash. But even then, we were protecting each other just out of common sense, not any training or... Back then, it wasn't like now where there's 1,000,001 videos showing wrestlers in training, so at least you can get some kind of idea what to do and that you have to protect the neck and all that, but that's still not the same as going to a real wrestling program. See, that's the problem, Citron. Now you're talking about two different promotions, and to narrow it down to 50 each, especially if you want to put a couple of managers in there to make it feel authentic. Good luck. I've done it. It ain't easy. It's even now what I'm doing. I still have a large portion of the UPW roster up because I'm running this storyline now. And once that's done, then I'm going to be getting rid of all of them because I've uploaded them. And then deleting them from the roster so I have room to put some more WCW and WWF. Because right now, that's what's getting me my ratings. This stuff here, I mean, it's doing really well for me. I cannot complain. All these N64 mods. Yeah, we didn't have the mattress. We had an empty above-ground swimming pool. Not a lot of give. But you could come off the ladder with your high-flying shit and that kind of stuff. Am I doing a universe mode? Loosely. Not like I do with the other stuff. I'm just kind of having fun with this and letting it play itself out and seeing how things go and getting a kick out of the old school arenas and wrestlers and stuff like that. But like with this, I'll eventually do a Tournament of Champions or, you know, one of their events, Star Wars of Wrestling. But I'm not doing like the play-by-play or running story angles, things like that. Now, if somebody, I'm presuming the Midnight Express win this match, which, and not a given, but if they were to win this match, then that would probably be the team I would want to put up against the Freebirds, perhaps. Or maybe I'd have the Midnight Express go up against Von Erichs to earn that shot. Since this is kind of a jobber team, sort of. Yeah, fitting 4 promotions under one, that's tough. Unless you have wrestlers that are going back and forth amongst promotions. Because otherwise you're looking at 25 per roster, which you could do that. As long as you're only doing maybe 4 or 5 matches, that would work. And get everybody some TV time. Gamer Goblin, it's free, buddy. No reason at all that you can't pick it up. I have a video posted in this playlist, if you want to go check it out, which shows basically how to upload them and all that kind of good stuff, get them working. But it also has a link on where it's at. Also, there's a WCW game that has some unlockable characters, and all the code is there for that, and the video will show you how to do that as well. And yes, like Jay says, it'll play on any computer. I do highly recommend you get a controller, though.
2.
I picked up 2 of the N64 style controllers with a USB jack for $27 on whatchamacallit there, Amazon. Yeah, we never actually beat on each other. We'd kind of do the clubbing forearm thing, but never make much contact and stomp the foot. And then, again, we sold and everything. We just, hey, you had to figure it out for yourself back then. There were none of these YouTube video accounts or shoot wrestling interviews. He certainly wasn't tough enough. The closest thing we ever had to seeing behind the scenes was John Stossel's 2020 interview where he got beat up by Dr. D. David Schultz. I remember watching that live when it aired. And then there was the what the hell was the dude's name that gave away the secrets of pro wrestling? They gave him an hour TV special. Tried saying the reason he couldn't have a career is he wouldn't sleep with a promoter. It's a pretty well-known name. I just drawn a blank right now. Yeah, as long as you've got talent that is free to move around. And nowadays, that's not so unbelievable because Impact, for example, a lot of their talent is able to go to other promotions as well. AEW even allows some of theirs, obviously not the headliners, but some of the ones that aren't getting steady TV time are allowed to. And it's good for them as well. It allows them to make money. It gets them more ring time, which will only make them better. UWF with Herb Abrams. Oh, my God. I watched that on Sports Channel, for I don't know how long. And I never even heard of IWCCW until this game. 2K froze up on you. I find that hard to believe, Jay. I haven't heard that from anybody else. I am absolutely not buying next year's game. Or I guess technically it's almost this year's game, isn't it? No, we got to get through January. I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got in mind. You know, just we're going to do this, we're going to do that, see what they plan to do, and then just realize most of it won't work when it releases. The rumor is with the next patch update that they're going to include some talent, perhaps guys that were in recent games that didn't make this one. Oh my goodness, are we going to have an upset? Oh shit. Condrey able to sneak out the back door there, but Jeep just ran out of gas. Yeah, Jonah was one of the names that was mentioned as possible DLC content. Somebody was predicting Mandy Rose. I highly doubt that. But the point was made about how much stuff is still in the game already, aside from the character model. Oh, I did not know they were tied to New England. Gordon Ramsay, the chef? What? Oh, you've got to send me that link. Gordon Ramsay? I mean, like recent? I don't think I would take a bump today. Condrey failing to lift the load that is the Jeep. There's the tag made. Shawn Michaels getting in there. Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. We definitely talked about that. Yeah, do that, please. I want to see this. What the hell made him even think about doing this? He's older than I am. I hope. He sure as hell looks it. Yeah, Edge and AEW, I just think that's a horrible idea. Anyone who wants to sit here and try and tell me that AEW is not Dixie Carter 2.0, you're wasting your breath. It is the exact same game plan, the same exact model, and it is traveling down the same exact trajectory. Their live attendance is down and dropping. All they're doing is signing ex-WWF.
1, 2, count 2.
Damn, did he make the save or did he kick out on that? I mean, Edge is 50 fucking years old and he's one bump away from retirement, if not paralysis. And he's in AEW, which means it'll come sooner than later. And Tony over here bragging about, oh, he's going to be wrestling on multiple days of the week and this and that and the other thing. Clearly not protecting him. Let's see who they put him in the ring with. Like create a wrestler universe mode for indie show. So when you say create a wrestler, are you talking about just like random wrestlers that don't actually exist? Or are you creating a bunch of indie wrestlers that aren't in games, generally speaking? With me personally, and it's just my personal taste on this, it's if I'm running, like I don't mind my UPW stuff because they're all fictitious characters, and then now the game is gonna have some legit legends signed on as well. So I figure, okay, if they're in the game, they're in the game, and it's part of the league. So I started adding that as well, and now I've even gone a little bit further by, doing this recent run with the ECW. I just thought it would be a good crossover, but I generally don't. But then again, if it weren't for UPW, I generally don't have wrestlers on my roster that are not actual wrestlers that everybody knows. What I can tell you is with Universe mode, let's say I'm in my WWF Universe mode, and I go to the, can't call it a story creator really, because it's not, but if I go to the feud management screen and say, okay, so-and-so is going to run in after the match, well, it picks who your opponent will be for the match. You have no control over it. And a lot of times, it's not even someone who's on the roster for that show, which really sucks. And when that does happen, I just got to grin and bear it. That's why I came up with Wrestleverse, not even knowing at the time that was going to be a problem. But I generally kind of like to keep my WWF to the WWF, and a good invasion angle could always work, though. Damn, Condrey with the Thez press. WWE 13 ECW. Yeah, I had some fun back then. That was ECW and the XCW, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was where Vito Bartelli got his start. Now look at him. He's back in UPW. Yeah, like I said, man, you got to do whatever feels right for you. I mean, if you're not enjoying it, then it's not going to come across well. So as long as you're having a good time with it, it would work. Like I said, for me, it was just personal preference. I wouldn't want to bring Americana into today's WWF roster. Not to say it couldn't be a decent match. It just, to me, it just feels weird. See, like J-Rock, he likes to do that stuff. I've seen him tag team Sergeant Slaughter along with Lee Powers there from the UPW, which is a good team. And you got two sergeants or drill sergeants, Marines, whatever. I don't know if we've ever. Yeah, what's Powers? What's his first title? It's not Sarge. I've kind of broken away a little bit from UPW shows, and now I can't remember all the names. This one's getting close to the time limit here. Bobby Eaton's going to have to try and find a way to put him away. Chuck, here's the difference, okay? And I've also criticized other companies for it. Impact with Trinity. Not because they took Trinity, but because she's coming out with the whole glow effect. That was WWE. That was her character there. If you're going to sign them and bring them in, let them be a different character. Let them be themselves, more or less, because in WWE, they seldom get to do that. And for the longest time, that was Impact. You didn't have a lot of fancy gimmicks and stuff. It was pretty much wrestlers wrestling. Novel idea, which is why I liked them so much. When I see Edge coming out in AEW to the same theme song, which granted, WWE doesn't own it, but it's just, it reeks of, look, I got a new toy and I took it from Vince. Okay, you took his 50-year-old toy and he took your up-and-coming top female star. And guess what? Jade Cargill will not be the same performer in the WWE. She ain't going to sit there and say, Michael Cole, cut the shit. You ain't going to hear that. One of the things that always annoyed me. That's why I said I'm going to give her a second chance now that she's in a real promotion. Because I could not stomach her act in AEW. Nothing about it. But I've got a feeling that she'll get polished up real nice now that she's in the big leagues. AEW might have some crowds. I mean, you can't look at the England thing. That's just a joke. They went to a country that was starved for a live wrestling event. And yeah, they sold tickets. They didn't sell the number of tickets they claimed they did. That's been proven. And they were only off by about 8,000, so it's not the largest live event of all time.
2.
And when they do host WrestleMania in England, I guarantee you that'll be a real number and probably will be a full stadium for that one. But if you're going to pick up talent from the WWE, which why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want Dolph Ziggler on your roster? I mean, it's insane to think differently. But he's going to be Nick Nemeth. And hopefully, he's just going to be Nick Nemeth. He's a comedian. Let him be a little bit funny with his promos. And I don't mean funny like in, trying to get a laugh with a joke. But you got to be able to deal with hecklers as a comedian, which means you should be able to put the big mouth to work on your opponent and come up with some jabs and things like that. So let him use that. As far as his in-ring work goes, I mean, for God's sake, put a belt on this guy. I really would love to see him in Impact. I think that is the best fit for him. He will end up being their world champion, hopefully for a good year or two. He's got the skills to make that work. He's got the mic skills to make that work. His in-ring talent, and there's a whole roster of guys that could have good matches with him. Judd, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Mickie James. Let me tell you, man, when they were here last, where I work, they do the after-match autograph signings. It was Santino. I forget which. It might have been John Hennigan. I forget now. And then Mickie James. Mickie James's line was through the lobby, down the hallway. Legit. I mean, she had an hour's worth of autograph signing after the show. And the other two guys were done in about 15 minutes. It was almost embarrassing. It's like everybody was online for Mickie. But she went there and she got hardcore country. That wasn't her WWE act. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to bring the talent, by all means, but make it your own. Do something to make it different. When Edge comes out to the same exact music, to the same exact pyro, to the same exact entrance, it is there's no effort being made. Zero effort. And normally I would totally agree with Dolph on any wrestling company because he's a great wrestler. And this one goes the time limit, and it's a draw. That's not going to help the Midnight Express get a title match. All right. I'm going to take another commercial break. This time I'm trying to figure out what I got to do to get the music to play. And then we'll be back. And we can continue the conversation as well.
Wrestling fans, if you're enjoying the content here on the Nation Network, we encourage you to check out Blaze Radio. Join Blaze for his unique take on E-Fed wrestling.
Hey, Walker. There's a shotgun stunner, but long through the table at the same time.
From 2K to AEW Fight Forever, as well as talk show podcasts and NFL Red Zone coverage.
I love that I can listen to football commentary where the important conversations happen, like the rack on the ref.
As soon as we're finished here, jump over to Blaze Radio and tell him Vince sent you. Wrestling fans, right after this program is done, enter the danger zone. Jump over and check out J-Rock 73. Tell him Vince sent you.
Well, that didn't work. Hold on a second. Now we got another problem.
never pin me. Now it's everybody's favorite time.
This morning, new details about 35-year-old Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by a Capitol police officer.
We haven't talked about race. This was a white lash.
A Fox 10 News alert out of Phoenix, where Republican Carrie Lake has filed an election-related lawsuit.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine.
Today we witnessed the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
All right, we're going to try this one more time here. Yeah, I didn't have to do any of this shit. JW, you still on, man? It was working fine. I just haven't used it in a couple weeks. We had set it up where it was all doing what it's supposed to do. Damn, prime time. Sorry to hear about that. That's no fun at all. You ain't missed much. I'm having technical issues here trying to get the music to fucking play. And I definitely didn't have to do all this shit. I might have to have another Jay Wiley session here and figure this one out. Oh, now it's not doing anything? Oh, hold on a minute. All right, well, we at least got that. I don't know what to say. Who I want to lock in the cage today? They got a Bruiser Brody, but man, he don't play well in cages. Just ask Luger. We'll take a look at the missing link. I don't think I've seen him yet. Against the JYD. Boy, that looks like a really good job on these guys. Oh, yes, the 45-foot steel cage. It'd take you a half hour just to climb it. Yeah, I did not appreciate it as much as I should have back then, but you got to remember I was living in New York and it was all WWF, and they had a really different style about WCCW that I'd watch it a bit, but I wasn't crazy about it. Then I moved to Florida in '86 and was introduced to Eddie Graham wrestling here, Championship Wrestling from Florida with Gordon Soley and all that. That I took to right away. I just absolutely loved it. So much more than the WWF that I grew up on because I thought it was much more realistic. The guys are really just being amplified versions of themselves, not cartoon comic book characters. Yeah, you know that old saying about the steel cage match. It's up there to keep the wrestlers in, but to keep other wrestlers out. At 40 foot high, that's going to keep everybody in and everybody out. Head first into the steel. What the hell is going on with his chest? Again into the steel. I've got a funny feeling there's something wrong with one of the graphics. Oh, even his face isn't right. Yeah, this thing's messed up somehow. He's got different costume attires. If I select a different one, that might work out better. This is my first look at him, though, so I don't know. Nice block by the JYD. I know, that's what I thought at first too, Jay. But didn't he have the green paint on his face when the match started? See, what I like about this game is they are using the steel cage. 2K, you would hardly even know there was a steel cage. JYD going up. Pile driver. Yeah, I thought he did. Yeah, Bruiser and Abdullah, that would be a good team. I'm not sure how long they could get along together, but... And, you know, to get back to what we were talking about earlier with AEW and the WWE signings, you look at how much of their roster is based on old WWF or WWE stars. And quite honestly, old is kind of the key word there. You got Chris Jericho, Christian Cage, and these are the guys you're putting your belts on. I mean, these are not guys in their prime. This is TNA. This is WCW, Vince Russo. This is a game plan and a script that is destined to fail because history has showed us that that's what it does. Retro, they probably were a team in Japan. Wouldn't surprise me in the least because Japan loves monsters. Clowns in the house. What's up, clown? I mean, it's a little repetitive with the running into the cage the way they do it the same way each and every time, but I still prefer that over 2K not doing shit with the cage other than climbing it and maybe jumping off the top. Infrared, what's up, brother? I'm all right. How you doing? We're just revisiting some WCCW from the Sportatorium here. Fire in the hole. Infrared, who do you want in Impact Wrestling from the WWE Release Foundation? Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm more worried about Edge and his health because those guys there are a bunch of clowns. They just no one no insult intended there, clown. No offense. But yeah, I mean, they do stupid shit all the fucking time. People get hurt all the fucking time. And you're looking at a guy who many people thought would never get back in the ring again. Doctors probably said he shouldn't be in the ring again. Damn, JYD climbing that cage like there's money on the other side. Is he going to make it over? Got one leg, there's the other one, and JYD gonna pull out the victory. JYD just got out of the cage and then fell down like Joe Biden. I'm gonna see what I can do about getting the music working again. I don't know what else I can possibly do with this thing. Oh, yeah, Dana Brooke, of course. She doesn't need to be retrained. She's fine. Here's the sad part of that whole situation. She was doing some of her best work in NXT. Oh, geez, Darby might not be able to get near nobody after the last match he was in. He should be crippled. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. The stuff that was allowed to happen to him, even by himself. I mean, Stevie Richards really had a good point in the video that AEW had to go and have blocked worldwide because they can't take criticism. You can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen, okay? Everything he said was true. And he called out the referee in the John Moxley botches there and said, your job is to protect them from themselves. And that is the truth because we have seen it time and time again. Wrestlers wrestle injured, and I mean badly injured. Triple H tears his pec in friggin' Saudi Arabia and wrestles the match. Cody goes into the Hell in a Cell and wrestles the match. Vince McMahon runs an angle even though he's got two blown quads. I mean, wrestlers, for anyone who says to me, oh, it's not a real sport, you show me an NBA, NFL, NHL guy who tears his pec and finishes the game. And when you can't do that, shut the fuck up. But I just see bad things on the horizon because they don't have referees that know how to protect the wrestlers. They don't have wrestlers that know how to protect the wrestlers. And the guys that do are so old, can they really protect them anymore? I mean, Jericho's in great shape for his age, but his age is not a great shape for a professional wrestler. So can he hold somebody and cradle them properly? Let's put it this way. You might get away with it with a younger guy like a Darby if he wasn't just dropped spine first on steel steps. But a guy like Edge, who needs a Bret Hart type of handling, they don't have any Bret Harts. They don't have anything close to it. And the names he's talked about, I mean, I know Samoa Joe will do everything to take care of him, and he should be safe to work with. And even Claudio, I mean, Claudio's got a stiff style. That's just his style. I mean, it's not like he's reckless or dangerous or anything like that. I wouldn't recommend it. Not with a series of neck injuries. Again, I know he'd protect him and look out for him, but I don't know. I think it would be more about protecting Edge from Edge. And to keep hearing him say, hey, I'm free now, I'm free. That's not necessarily a good thing in your condition. You know, if you weren't free before, it's probably because they knew you'd do something stupid and they didn't want you to get crippled on their program. But you're right. With Tony, he don't seem to give a shit about that, so you'll be free. And you're right. Moxley's too dangerous for his own self, and the referee didn't protect him. Penta didn't protect him, and Moxley didn't protect Moxley. So what you going to do? I tell it to people all the time, I can help you, but I can't protect you from yourself. If you are the cause of your problem, then that's on you. So anyway. All right, everybody. I'm going to try and see if I can figure out what's going on with the friggin' audio on this game. It was working fine in the past, and I don't know what's going on with it now. So we'll see if I can't figure that out for the next one, and then we can have the music back and make it feel a little bit better. Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all spending some time this afternoon, evening, and hanging out. We'll be back with some more stuff. We got some UPW stuff on the near horizon. Yeah, and Edge is also going to find out how free he is the way CM Punk found out how free he was. Everyone loves him today. Let's see about tomorrow. Offer them some advice and let them know what why their shit ain't very good and why their quarter hours aren't very good, and see how then they turn on you because you're the outsider in their show. Yeah, whatever. All right, everybody, take care. I'm going to try and mess with this thing, get it up and running properly, and we'll see you next time for some more. Take it easy.